welcome back to Jubilee Road. Now, to be honest, I wasn't expecting to make this video. Kind of, well, spontaneous, I guess you could say. Oh, that's a big word for me. So, just before filming this video, I popped to my local model shop, which you all know is MIB Models here in South Wales. And I saw this locomotive on the shelf. It's been there for a while and never really given it much thought or even looked at, to be honest, because of the make of the locomotive. I don't tend to buy a lot older models here at the layout. I go for this sort of new releases on all that kind of stuff. But today I thought, let's have a look how good these older models are. So, this is the box. And as you can see, there. This is made by Mainline. Now this was before Bachmann came around. Mainline is now Bachmann, that's how it is. And I saw this loads of times on the shelf. I thought, nah, I don't want that. Probably it's not going to run very well, and not very good models. But they would have been back then, but not as today's standard. But I thought, I saw the price, which is just under my finger just here. I thought, do you know what? It looks nice in the box. We'll give it a go. So, that's how much I paid for it. Can you see that? Yeah. $49.50. Now, yeah, that could be a good price, or it might not be. It depends on what this locomotive is like. There's no other information on here to say how old this model would be. You'll see the model in a minute. I'm just reading here. No, there's nothing really to say. It doesn't. But when you see the model, I'm guessing it's quite a late mainline model. You'll see that judging by the wheels, because normally mainline steam locomotives have terrible wheels on them. I don't know why they ever did that. They've got a really wide sort of silver bit or metal piece all the way around each driving wheel. It just doesn't look right. But this locomotive doesn't have that. So this is the locomotive we are actually looking at. Just see it there. So we are looking at a rebuilt Scots class locomotive, and this is Scots Guardsman. Now this locomotive is still with us today, but unusually this is in LMS lined black. Has that loco ever been in LMS lined black in preservation? Please let me know. I'm not sure. It rather suits the locomotive. So in this video we're going to take a little look at the model itself and see how it runs. I think that's the most important thing given its age. And if you know when this model came out, please let me know, because I'd like to find out. So let's stop playing around with the box. Let's go and have a look at the locomotive itself. And here is the locomotive which is in that box. And first impressions when you're looking at it, would you guess this was a mainline model? Do you know what? No, you wouldn't. Now you can see what I mean. We'll have a little closer look in a minute about those wheels. They look far more to scale than the usual mainline models, which makes me think these were sort of probably towards the end of the mainline brand. I'm guessing so. But overall, it's a really lovely looking locomotive. The weight is pretty decent for the age of the model. It certainly weighs more than some modern locomotives do today. The paintwork looks good, and another thing is which is really nice is how good it looks even today. The previous owners definitely look after this model. You can see it. There's no marks, there's no paint chips, everything is there, nothing broken. So this locomotive's really been looked after. Whether it's been run much in its life, possibly not. It's in too good of condition to be used heavily. So let's just have a sort of a closer look then at the locomotive. Now I am doing this next part of the video freehand, so just bear that in mind. Yes, you can just see that is a tiny bit of oil that was applied to the locomotive in the shop. That'll be easily cleaned off, but how nice is this? I think the handrails stand out a little bit too much. You've got the number on the front there, printed really well. You've got vacuum pipes, you've got buffers, and a really nice small coupling there. The lining, yeah, it looks really nice. And there's those wheels. They look like, well, they'd be off a modern model, but they're not. You take a look at other pictures of mainline models and you'll see what I mean. You got the nameplate, you just see it there. Now that nameplate looks far better than a lot of the Hornby nameplates that come out these days. Doesn't look so, well, rubbish, does it? That was a little bit unfair, but it's kind of the way it is. We keep going back. The lining round the cab is done really nice, and you've got the number, which is 6115. The only thing I've spotted is, can you see this? It's slightly raised. Now, when I first looked at the model, I thought, oh, that's cracked and damaged, but it isn't. It seems to be where the cab is joining this part of the locomotive. I'm going to look into this. It's exactly the same on this side. See if we can make that look a little bit better, but when it's running around the layout, you're not really going to see. So if we move it really carefully forward, there's the tender, really nicely detailed. You got the LMS printed really nicely there. Tons and tons of rivets. The coal load isn't brilliant, but that can be easily sorted there. If we come across the top, we have... Is that a metal whistle? Nah, it is plastic, but they look really nice. You know, they've been modelled really well. It's just the handrail might need to be dulled down slightly, but there is the model. For 50 quid, I don't think you can really go wrong with this. Yeah. I was shocked at how nice this was when I took it out of the box. It was a bit of a gamble buying this. I know 50 quid on a gamble is a bit silly, but I'm really happy I did. Now, the most important thing, how does this locomotive run? Now, if this is a pile of absolute junk at running, then obviously I'm going to take it back. But most of the thing, well, everything that MIB models have sold me in the past has always been as top quality. So let's find this out, shall we? So I'm just going to run the model back and forth here to see what it's like. As I said, I don't know how much this model has run during its life. I wouldn't have a clue. So I'm just going to go back to my controller. Obviously this is a non-digital ready locomotive, so it's running on DC and always will. I'm not going to mess about with it. So we're going to go in reverse first and see what this loco is like. I have no idea what to expect here. Right, I now probably sound quite far away from the camera, but we're at the controller. So let's see what we get. This is rather exciting. Well, that's incredible. How does this thing run that well being this age? Look at that. There is absolutely no motor noise to speak of. Really, really smooth running model, this. I gotta be honest, I don't think I was really expecting this. Not quite as good running in reverse. Well, I am kind of shocked right there. How does this model run that well? I've got brand new models that don't run like this. Wow, okay, you can tell by my voice I'm completely almost lost for words, which if you know me, that's completely madness, but yeah, really, really impressed with that. There's no motor noise at all. Yeah, sorry guys, what a bargain for 50 quid this is. This runs, yeah, as I said, better than a lot of new models I've had. Yeah, really rather impressed. So there we go, guys. Is it worth buying an old mainline locomotive model? Well, this is a really good example as yes. As we all know, prices of new models are getting absolutely, well, out of hand now, to be fair. There's new releases are costing over £300 for a 2-car DMU. What? I don't think so. So I'm not buying them anymore. It's not happening. I'm not going to pay prices as much as I used to. I'm going to buy more locomotives like this so I can get more of them. So let me know what you think, and do you have this specific model, and would you buy one? I think you should if you can get the right one at the right price. So thank you very much for watching. What I'm going to do now, we're going to send it round the layout with some visiting LMS coaches, which my mate has lent me. I think that's rather fitting for this locomotive. And we'll see how it performs around the rest of the layout. So I'll be back here with loads more railway content for you all very soon. Bye everyone.